we don't really ask questions like what is reality and like who we really are, see our future without this colonization that is happening right now, where we kind of like silently we are being colonized by the system, that is trying to sell you something or trying to collect your data. Or today I'm going to Decentralized technology event. They work with MeshCore instead of MeshCore. I think MeshCore is more user-friendly. I have been thinking to switch to decentralized devices for a long time. The phone these days really becomes unusable in a way that even some of the notifications that are turned off, somehow they still make their way through, particularly some emails that I receive, and I have unsubscribed 100 different times, but I still receive some of the annoying emails and spams. But also as an experiment, I wanted to see if I can actually declutter my phone subscription. I don't think that's possible. I still have to use my phone for like governmental verifications and emails. In general, I'm curious to train is arriving. I'm curious to learn what is available right now, what is possible. Maybe at some point I will be able to declutter my mobile subscription. I think the main difference between MeshCore and MeshCore is that MeshCore is more, I think it has better user experience, and I think MeshCore is more DIY, which is fine, but right now I'm looking for something that is a little bit easier to use, maybe easier to kind of adapt, and also recommend to my friends, to other people who also would like to communicate in a more decentralized way outside of the traditional internet that we have right now. It's going to be in a squad center. Sometimes squad centers, they can be really nice, but they are not for everyone. Some kind of festival in the city behind me. I was looking for MeshCore devices, but I didn't find anything nearby. Let's try this MeshCore community. I wanted to reflect on this gathering. I actually didn't want to film during the actual gathering. It was my first time visiting this kind of like anarchist digital decentralized community. I think it went really well. Everyone was really invested in the topics that we've discussed. I saw a small device that you connect to your phone, and you can use decentralized networks like MeshCore to communicate with people in a more private and more decentralized way. Also, I asked the group question, how do you actually move away from your phone completely? I'm not even speaking about your smartphone device, but I'm speaking about, for example, if you want to use any service in the Netherlands, you have to have your number, and sometimes you have to do this double authorization. And so what's interesting is that this gathering was at the squad center. It was really beautiful inside, actually, with some beautiful murals, some sculptures by the entrance. Maybe someone who lives there is a student in the art school. Another interesting question is, how do you use these devices for decentralized communication that are with like very accessible entrance? Right now, it's, there is a lot of DIY involved, which is fine, but that part can be difficult for regular people to use this network system. Also, it was interesting to actually meet a friend, someone I know. We met each other some time ago. We haven't seen each other for a while, and she graduated with Master in Fine Art this year, actually last year. I want to join a group where we meet consistently, so it's not just a one-time event or one-time workshop, but it's where we meet maybe once a week or once in a few weeks or once a month, but we do it on a regular basis. I think that's how community forms, you need to have exposure to people on a regular basis in order to get to know each other, maybe even make friends. Also, I was thinking about my past experience in software design, and I kind of miss it a little bit. Right now, I'm fully focused on contemporary art, on fine art, socially engaged art. It allowed me to reinvest the budget that I've earned in software, and I reinvested that into fine art. I felt like that's my purpose, to be the light of art and culture in a way. Imagine if you come to Amsterdam and there is no museum, no bookstore, no music hall, no theater. Like, what a terrible place. But you also have to keep in mind that there are many people investing in this field, in culture, in art every day. Many people invested their entire lives to enrich our humanity in a way. And I think that's extremely important, to be the light, to preserve culture and create something for society. You probably ask me, what are my next steps in this MeshCore decentralized technology field? My next step is to buy a small gadget, a small device for around 20-30 euros dollars to test it, how it works, connected to, for now, to my phone. But of course it would be better to have a separate device for decentralized communication. For now, just to begin with, having that small device that kind of connects to my phone, and so that I can connect to this network and I can find people with whom I can chat in a different way, away from the internet, like from regular internet. And my next step is I want to participate in more gatherings. Like today, I want to connect with more people who are also in this field of decentralized technology. People who are excited and who see our future without this colonization that is happening right now, where we kind of like silently we are being colonized by the system, that is trying to sell you something, or trying to collect your data, or trying to sell you 101 million of subscription services. Another thing that I want to do, I want to keep decluttering my subscriptions. I already decluttered a lot as a part of my experiment, and I want to keep going. I think I have iCloud on my list, which is very difficult to declutter, I think, because I want all my data to kind of being uploaded on the cloud from my phone or from my laptop. So in case these devices when they get damaged, for example, in some way, this data will be stored safely. I can always kind of bring it back to a new device. And I think that subscription I would actually like to keep, but maybe there is a way to declutter it. I have a few external storages that I can use, and I want to see, or maybe I could downgrade that subscription service. Let's see. If you watched this video until the end, please give this video a like so that I know you saw it, you want to support me. This channel is very new. I will be also making a few shorts out of this video, and let me know what you think about this topic. I'm still very confused. I don't know how it works, but I'm in. I feel like intuitively I have to do it, and let me know what's your experience. And maybe it's also good to speak a little bit about LLM systems that we use. Yesterday I had a chat with ChatGPT about the colonization of the mind that these systems do. In a way, they represent centralized governments, centralized authority, and it's very difficult for them to self-reflect, to say, hey, we are just representing the narrative of this centralized authority, but there are also many other narratives that you maybe consider. I feel like these systems are overly regulated right now, and I was kind of thinking about what I read in the books by Byung-Chul Han, that we are being colonized by the centralized authority, but in a very quiet and a very subtle way, where We don't really ask questions like what is reality and like who we really are. So that the reality is communicated through these large language model systems in a way that we don't ask ourselves questions. Maybe there is something else into it. Maybe there are new sustainable systems that are better. These models are not trained to make you self-reflective.